This will be for the con exercise, factor polynomials using structure. So the polynomials we will be doing in this exercise will take on one of these three factored forms, okay? These are all in factored form. If you do a plus b squared, if you multiply a plus b times itself using FOIL, the first term would be a times a, or a squared. The last term would be b times b, or b squared. And when you did the inner outer term, you would get ab plus ab, or 2ab. Now this one here is almost the same as this one, the first one. FOIL, using FOIL, a times a, you would get a squared. And the last term would be negative b times negative b. You'd also get positive b squared. However, the middle term would be negative ab plus negative ab. That's negative 2ab. So notice the first two are almost the same with the exception of the plus minus sign on the middle term. Finally, the last one, using FOIL, a times a is a squared. B times negative b is negative b squared. And if you did the inner outer, you would get positive ab minus ab, and that would just cancel. So for this one here, there is no middle term. So if the problem is in this form with no middle term, you are going to be using this factored form. If the middle term is negative, use this one. Middle term is positive, use this one. All right, factor completely. Let's take a look. All right, so notice the middle term is negative. So this one is in the form of a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Okay, we can associate a squared with 36c squared and b squared with 49d squared. Let's solve for a and b. All right, so if a squared equals 36c squared, the way to undo something squared is to take the square root of both sides. Square root of a squared is a. The square root of 36 is 6. And the square root of c squared is c. B squared equals 49d squared. The opposite of squaring something is to take the square root. We do that to both sides. Square root of b squared is b. Square root of 49 is 7. And the square root of d squared is d. So if you remember from the identities we did at the beginning, or I don't know if you call them identities, at least the formulas, this was equivalent to a minus b quantity squared. How did I know that? Because the middle term is negative, so it's a minus b squared. If this were positive, this would be a plus b squared. And now just subbing in what we solved for. A is 6c minus sign, b is 7d, and that whole thing is squared. Okay, I am confident in my answer, but if you would like to double check, you certainly can unpack this, or you can just check the middle term. Negative 7 times 6 is negative 42, and we have a CD. Negative 42 CD, negative 42 CD, that'll give you a negative 84 CD. So it looks like it checks out. In the box, parentheses, 6c minus 7d, close parentheses, and square it. All right. All right, factor completely. So you can see on this one we have a plus sign on the middle term. So we are looking at a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. All right, so we can associate a squared with 49m to the fourth, and the b squared is 100. All right, if a squared equals 49m to the fourth, taking the square root of both sides, the square root of a squared is a. The square root of 49 is 7, and the square root of m to the fourth is m squared. Associating b squared with 100. The opposite of squaring something is to take the square root of both sides, and b equals 100. Okay, you don't worry about plus minus here. You just keep the positive. All right, so this right here we said at the beginning, this equals a plus b quantity squared. All right, the middle term is positive, so this is positive. Subbing in, a is 7m squared, plus sign in the middle, b is 100. And the whole thing is squared. Done. Final answer. If you want to check the middle term. 7 times... Oh, there you go. I did make a mistake. B is not 100. The square root of 100 is 10. All right, good thing I checked. So this is just 7m squared plus 10 squared. Check the inner outer. 7 times 10 is 70. 7 times 10 is 70. 70 and 70 is 140. All right, so good thing I did that mental check. Parentheses, 7m squared. Hit the right arrow key. Plus 10, close parentheses, quantity squared. And there you go. All right, last one. Last one, no middle term. All right, so we definitely know we are using the one that is a squared minus b squared. And that equals a plus b, a minus b. All right, there is no inner outer or middle term on this one here. So I know I'm using this. A squared is associated with 4p squared. The opposite of squaring something is to take the square root on both. Square root of a squared is a. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of p squared is p. The negative sign the negative signs match, so the b squared is associated with 25q squared. The opposite of squaring something is square root on both sides. Square root of b squared is b. Square root of 25 is 5. And the square root of q squared is q. And now all you have to do is sub in. Okay, for a plus b, it's going to be 2p plus 5q. For a minus b, it's going to be 2p minus 5q. All right, and that's it. Right in the box, parentheses, 2p plus 5q, close them up, parentheses, 2p minus 5q. Close them up. And that's it.